Okay, Dylan, we got this book at the last bookstore in downtown LA on spring break. We are going to read this.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very short book, but it's got a fair amount of writing in it, so we can get through it. But we're going to start it tonight. It's called Tales of Thunder and Lightning. Dylan, where are my glasses? Oh, I keep forgetting to put my glasses nearby. Okay. 2 other books you will enjoy. Old Witch Rescues Halloween by Wendy and Harry Devlin. Nicky and his mother are still operating the jug. And Muffin Tear Room in Old Wick. And the old witch is still living in the attic. Pictures and story present the feisty old magic maker at her endearing best. And then Cranberry Thanksgiving by Wendy and Harry Devlin. So they write all of these together, I guess. Maybe they're like a husband and wife team. A tried and true recipe for an entertaining story that will delight young readers. Naturally, there is a happy ending. Cute. Okay. So, hardcover, thin, young reader friendly. And we'll see, this one looks like a scary little town. How do you like my pink Easter nails?
It's great.
I was overdue to get them done. Okay, and here's the interior. A lot of interesting characters. Ooh, big red beard. Oh, look at the little angel. Okay, so a lot of interesting characters.
Tales of Lightning and Thunder.
Tales of Lightning. I like all this weird artistic writing too. And look at that tree. That tree is just a sight. Okay, dedication to Danny, who had the inspiration, and Matthew, who may enjoy the result. Contents: forward. The wooden soldiers of paradise. The fool on the hill. The great blacksmith. The angry Orisha. Mother of the mountains. The giant who smoked cigars. Sounds like Daddy. Scolding the angels. Devilish merriment. My lord, the thunder and his friends. Cobblestones in the sky. A mountain bonfire. Quarreling witches. Thor's hammer. An invasion by devils. Moving day in heaven. And an afterward. And you know what? Some of these titles, I love them. They're kind of like, they could be like song titles. Okay, the foreword. Why Tales of Thunder and Lightning? A wild, crashing thunderstorm is awesome to us all, but to a child, the explosive fury of lightning followed by thunder's sonorous booms. Sorry, I can hardly see. This lighting is not good with my glasses. Can be a terrifying experience. By the time we reach adulthood, most of us vaguely understand the causes of electrical storms. We have a respect for, but little fear of, the phenomena. Grown-ups have learned to act rationally with regard to such happenings. Tippy, come on. See, she knew it was story time. She came right up here. Whether thunder and lightning will frighten or delight a child, however, depends on how that child relates imaginatively to storms. And this, no doubt, explains why the folklore of most peoples, from ancient days down to the present, have produced a rich variety of funry. Did I get that right? Mm-hmm. A funny. Gosh, my eyes are going bad, Dylan. I need to get a new set of readers, I think. A funny. Wait, where did I leave off? variety of funny, fanciful, and occasionally elaborate tales to explain the mysteries of thunder and lightning to small children, passed down from grandparent or parent to child. These stories exist to distract and amuse, to comfort and beguile a young audience during a storm. Frequently, these tales reflect the interests and character of the locales from which they spring. In rural India, for example, the sound of thunder is attributed to an old woman who grinds dried peas in the sky. In parts of the American West, sheep herders still tell their children that thunder is caused by young rams butting their heads together in the heavens. The simplest and most universal explanation, perhaps, is that thunder results when two clouds accidentally bump into each other. Hold on, I'm almost done here. Let's see here. The tales which follow have been collected largely through personal encounters with individuals from many ethnic backgrounds over the years, that peoples separated by thousands of miles and without any apparent cultural links told remarkably similar stories. The unseasoned fear of thunder and lightning has been given a name: brontophobia. This book's aim is to provide children and parents with a permanent and enjoyable cure for so widespread a malady. One of nature's most magnificent spectacles deserves to be enjoyed. Harry Devlin.
I also real live seals. One of them.
Yeah, she wants to know about your workday. Tippy.
One of them died when we left,
Tippy.
but we were not clear of that, and we found a dead body. Not we were informed.
She's just glad you're back. You missed your daddy, huh? Okay. Cuddles with Tippy. Under your little blanket. Yeah, she's happy you're home. Talk to her.
I did 4 reports today. It was a busy day today. Yeah.
Can you hear all that purring?
Mm-hmm.
She is purring and purring. Tippy! Good girl. She's just happy you're home, Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan's covered up in his blanket.
She's clawing me to make sure I don't go anywhere.
She was so worried this morning. She was sniffing your pillow. She said, "Where is my dad?" Okay, we're going to get back to Tales of Thunder and Lightning by Harry Devlin. We had left off some time ago, and we're going to get back to this. We left off with the next story, which is called A Mayan Legend. So let's show the picture. The Giant Who Smoked Cigars. Each season, when the Mayan Indians of Central America planted their crops of corn and tobacco, it was their custom to make large offerings to the gods. This generosity guaranteed that enough rain would be provided for a good harvest. The gifts to the gods were usually bundles of last season's choicest tobacco wrapped in dried shucks of corn. One spring, however, a careless Mayan farmer forgot to make his offering. And when, this man went into his field some months later to harvest the beautiful ripe corn, a giant as tall as a tree stood there waiting for him. In a loud, gruff voice, the Colossus said, "I have come to claim what is mine." And as he spoke, he waved an immense cigar made of one gigantic sheaf of tobacco wrapped in an enormous shuck of corn. While the frightened farmer watched, the giant reached for a great flint and struck a light for his cigar. And the sparks that flew from it, lightning. As clouds of black smoke rose from it, the forgetful farmer fainted. When he awakened, a great rainstorm had ruined his entire crop. Ever since, the Mayan gods of the harvest light their cigars in the heavens when they want to remind all farmers to make their yearly offerings. Mayan legend. Oops, I got one stuck here. Scolding the angels. When children, this is a Hungarian one. This is Hungarian, I didn't even notice that. Hungarian folklore. Yes. Kedves, the children. Now, Kedves is children in Hungarian, Dylan.
Yeah.
Okay. When children in Hungary hear thunder, they are told that it is the angry voice of St. Peter, the housekeeper of heaven, scolding his angels for forgetting to dust the clouds. Because St. Peter is upset and rushes about, his keys to the heavenly cupboards all clink together, causing the sparks which we see on earth as lightning. Look, he has keys like you, Dylan.
Yeah.
A long red beard like Daddy. Look, there's the beautiful angels with their wings. Frightened by this unusual hullabaloo, the angels begin to weep. Their tears fall as rain. Once all the blackened clouds have been dusted, however, St. Peter smiles and the sun again shines down. That is wonderful. There's so many great Hungarian folklore stories on YouTube, and I love listening to them at bedtime. Like about the lazy sisters and about one eyes, two eyes, three eyes, and they're all these old Hungarian folk tales, and we should start getting into those stories because each one of them has like a little moral of the story. Okay, devilish merriment at weddings in parts of Czechoslovakia, which is no longer the name. It's actually called Czech Republic now. Music always plays an important role. The musicians who entertain on such happy occasions make a lot of cheerful noise, as do the dancing guests. Perhaps this explains how the following thunder and lightning tale came to be. So this is a Czech folklore. A thunderstorm, so Czech parents tell their children, is a sure sign that the devil is getting married. The noise of the thunder is caused by devil musicians beating on giant drums. And lightning comes from the sparks of the fires of hell that fly through the air as the dancing devils stamp about on their cloven hoofs. The heavens provide rain, of course, to keep these devilish sparks from starting fires on earth. Wow, that's kind of an intense story. These are all stories that talk about tales of thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
They're just stories. My Lord, the Thunder and His Friends. Now this one is a Chinese legend. Okay, in ancient China, when the streams dried up, when cabbages withered in the fields and trees drooped for lack of water, the farmers all prayed for rain. Their prayers could only be answered, however, if a whole cast of supernatural beings was listening and watching. Most important was a strange-looking god called My Lord, the Thunder. His skin was blue all over. He looked like a bird with beak and claws, and he had bat-like wings so that he might fly quickly to wherever rain was most needed. Around his waist he wore a drum, and in his right hand was a wooden hammer with which to beat and to make the noise we call thunder. The sound summoned his wife, mother of the lightnings, who was as gentle and beautiful as her husband was fierce and ugly. In each hand she held a mirror to catch the sun's dazzling reflections and create lightning. The lightning, in turn, was seen by Madame Wind, who would then come carrying 2 bags of wild, imprisoned winds. She always rode across the sky on the back of a tiger. Last but not least, Baron Rain followed. He was a great warrior, brandishing a sword and carrying a tremendous cup of water. Once all 4 were assembled, Madame Wind would let loose the contents of her bags, while Baron Rain tilted the great cup of water with the tip of his sword and made rain pour forth. All the while, my lord the Thunder continued to beat his drum, and Mother of the Lightnings to flash her shiny mirrors. In time, the streams were brimming with water, and the parched earth soaked up its fill. It was then the turn of a last figure, the lady who sweeps the sky clear. I love these names. To brush away the storm clouds and let the sun again shine through. Her broom was needed to restore the sky's bright sparkle. To this day, in many Chinese homes, a paper doll with a broom in its hand is made to represent the lady who sweeps the sky clear. The cutout is hung where the slightest breeze will set its broom in motion. Sometimes, when only a shower was called for, the lady who sweeps the sky clear had a quite different job. By herself, she could use her broom to whip up just a few dark clouds and start a modest rainfall. That was a Chinese legend. Look at this, we're almost done. I think we could pretty much finish this book.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the way, we're going to do a press conference tomorrow. I'll get more information about that after the video.
Okay. That's your update, huh?
Yeah.
Now we're doing a Polish folklore. Cobblestones in the sky. Somewhere in the heavens there is a rough, steep road made of cobblestones. From time to time, like every road, it needs repairs. Then 2 powerful horses must struggle to pull a wagon full of freshly hewn rocks to its very top. The steeper the climb becomes, the faster the rocks begin to fall from the wagon, tumbling back down the road. Bump, thump, rumble, bump, thump. This is what causes thunder. As the driver urges his horses on, the clashing of their heavy iron shoes and on the cobblestone raises great sparks. What we see on earth is lightning. At least that's the story children in Poland hear when a thunderstorm begins. Okay, a Peruvian legend. A mountain bonfire. According, let me zoom out a little, here we go. According to the Indians of the Altiplano, the high plains in Peru, some of the less important gods occasionally come down from the sky to live in the cool, clean air of the Andes Mountains. To discourage this heavenly invasion, the earth demons come out of the deep caves where they make their home, and they build huge bonfires on lofty crags. Whenever this happens, the llamas grazing on the mountain slopes become frightened by the smoke and the heat. They cry out with their characteristic wail, "You, you!" Hearing these cries of distress, the gods in the mountains rush to beat out the flames with heavy clubs. Their pounding creates thunder and lightning too, since great sparks fly off in all directions. At last, the god of storms himself, Kuno looks down from the heavens to see what the commotion is all about. It is he who sends torrents of rain to drive the wicked earth demons back to their caves. Then the llamas return to grazing, and peace is restored to the Altiplano. That's an interesting legend. Okay, this one is a Celtic folklore. Quarreling witches. Okay, Dylan, doesn't she look like the witch you read about last year in 3rd grade?
Yeah.
Remember we had to draw a witch for one of your reports?
And then she also looks like the Lady of the West.
Yeah, she does look like the Lady of the West, our little secret, scary puzzle piece that we found on the floor one day, huh?
One time where, in my dream, she smashed a plate over my head. And she looked just like that.
Like her?
Yeah. I was saying, get out of here, and then she was like, once I do this, and then smashed a plate over my head.
Oh, that was a nightmare. Okay, quarreling witches. Long ago, in many parts of Western Europe, people truly believed in witches and their amazing powers. Because thunderstorms were a mysterious happening, the superstitious people who feared them were quick to blame such awesome storms on witches. It was said that thunder and lightning happened whenever 2 or more witches quarreled over their unholy recipes, as their poisonous potions bubbled and steamed in the high mountains. Where they lived, the old crones would stamp their feet and screech dreadful curses at one another. The din they made was thunder, sometimes as their great spoons banged against the iron of their cooking pots. Sparks would fly, causing great flashes of lightning down on earth. The steam that rose from their evil concoctions would, of course, cool in time as the rain and fall as rain. Okay, I think this is two more left. Okay, here we go. This is a Norse legend. Thor's hammer. Centuries ago, the people who lived in what is today Norway, Sweden, and Denmark were called Vikings. These Vikings prayed to a red-whiskered storm god named Thor. Is that Thor, Dylan? Yeah, that's him. Thor was thought to ride through the heavens in a chariot drawn by 2 goats, as he always carried his magic white-hot hammer with him. He would fling this weapon to earth whenever he wanted to destroy giants or other enemies of man. As his hammer flashed across the sky, it was seen from below as lightning. The sound of thunder came from the rumbling of Thor's chariot wheels. Even today in Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, many parents still tell their children about man's protector, Thor. Thor, perhaps... Are you putting... Is that my microphone? Yeah. Thor, perhaps that's why Scandinavian children are hardly ever afraid of thunder and lightning. That's great.
I mean, I'm not afraid of thunder and lightning, but if it happens for the first time, I might get spooked.
I don't like it.
Yeah, me too. No one does.
Okay, this is an Irish... I mean, I love rain, but I don't like the noisy parts. Mm-hmm. Okay, Irish folklore. This is Ireland, okay? Mm-hmm. An invasion by devils. All of these have such a weird, negative, scary little slant to them, huh? Okay, near the city of Galway in Ireland is a great deep bay facing the Atlantic Ocean. It has long been known for its heavy mists and fierce electrical storms. Irish mothers tell their children that these storms are caused by angels chasing devils from the sky. It happens in this way. When the mists roll in from Galway Bay, the devils use them to hide behind in order to sneak into the heavens. Once the angels discover what the devils are up to, they throw rocks at the unwelcome invaders. This makes the sound of thunder. In their anger at having been discovered, the devils spit fire, lightning at the angels. Eventually, the angels succeed in driving the devils away. Screaming and hissing, they fall into the Galway Bay with mighty splashes that mortals feel as rain. Wow, that is an interesting one. Okay, I think this one, Dylan, is, it's our last one. This is a tale from Trinidad. Here we go. Moving day in heaven. Oh, look, Dylan, they're moving.
Yeah.
Every so often, as more and more souls of good people leave earth and arrive in heaven, the furniture of paradise must be rearranged to make room for them. Whenever this happens, the angels work hard to push the heavy bureaus in which the robes and shining halos are kept closer together. Music stands and harp racks must also be pulled about. In the course of all of this commotion, chairs and thrones and other furnishings often scrape loudly against the floor of heaven. These bumpings and thumpings make thunder, and every time the leg of a chair or the base of a music stand turns up the corner of a cloud, the dazzling light of heaven flashes briefly through to the earth below. This is lightning. Naturally, all of this activity raises a good deal of dust, and the water used for cleaning up afterwards falls on earth as rain. That is such a cute little story. Let's see here. Okay, afterward. Oh, this is the lady who sweeps the skies clear. Oh, that's pretty. She's a pretty lady with her kimono robe. Okay, afterward. What really causes lightning and thunder? So, Dylan, this is where we learn the real root of this. The Earth's atmosphere always contains electricity. Lightning is really a tremendous spark of electricity that jumps between two places where electrically positive and negative charges become concentrated. The reason why some parts of the atmosphere build up a negative electrical charge and others a positive one has to do with differences in temperature. Moisture-laden cloud between two clouds or between low clouds and the earth. Lightning. You got to sit still because I got to see with the light. Lightning is always jagged because it follows the path of least resistance on its way down. Warm, wet air is an excellent conductor of electricity, and each flash takes the warmest, wettest route. Thunder is simply the sound wave produced by the explosive, expanding warm air along the lightning flash. The sudden blowing up of the heated air causes the vibrations which produce the sound of thunder. We hear one sharp clap of thunder if the lightning is nearby. When a storm is some distance away, the thunder sounds more like rumbling. Okay, what to do when there's thunder and lightning, when there's a thunder and lightning storm? And this reminds me of the vibrations, reminds me of that song by the Beach Boys, Good Vibrations. Yeah. And it's just ironic because Brian Wilson died today, age 82.
He lived a long life.
He lived a long life and he made some great music. So rest in paradise, Brian Wilson. Okay, what to do when there is a thunder and lightning storm? Okay, number one, whenever you see a flash of lightning, Dylan, start counting slowly. If you reach 5 before you hear the first clap of thunder, the storm is a mile away. If you reach 10, it's 2 miles away, and so on. So you go like this: 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Okay, it's a mile away. That's how you determine the distance. Make a paper cutout of the lady who sweeps the sky clear. Okay, place tracing paper on this drawing, and with a soft lead pencil, make a heavy outline. Let's see here. So place tracing paper on this drawing, and with a soft lead pencil, make a heavy outline. Now, turn your tracing over and scribble right on top of the outline that shows through. Hold your pencil almost flat against the tracing paper. Once again, turn your tracing right side up, and this time placing it over a piece of stiff blank paper. Draw over your own outline and then carefully cut along the markings that appear on the stiff paper. If you like, fill in the lady's features with gown folds. Sorry. Next, tape her on the door or window frame as shown. So you're going to put her like this. Just tape her like that, so that her broom is kind of, in the entryway there. So you're going to tape her in the window or frame or door as shown. The lightest breeze will put her broom to work sweeping the clouds away. That's pretty cool, Dylan.
Yeah.
And that's all the artwork for this book. We got this book at the last bookstore in downtown, and it was $4. It's a hardcover. And two other books you might enjoy are Old Witch Rescues Halloween and Cranberry Thanksgiving. So that's part of this whole series. So, Tales of Thunder and Lightning.
Hope you enjoy it.